It is nice to see you all in the technical update meeting and myself, Nalini, Associate Professor of CSE Department. So let me share my knowledge about security challenges in cloud computing today. So about cloud computing, we are all aware that it is a hot topic and it is an architect which just enables to access a shared pool of computing resources, on-demand access, pay-as-you-go model. So everything we are aware of that. So cloud computing actually we have the services offered, different deployment models are there. Okay, so even though there are so many benefits that we can list by the usage of cloud computing, it actually suffers and there is an hindrance of security. Okay, it is always there. So let us explore now for the few minutes about the securities that is there, which pulls behind the cloud computing concept. So security challenges in cloud computing, actually the users should be aware of, we are not aware where actually our sensitive data that is being deployed, because it is the cloud service providers, no, they are all geographically distributed, they are available in geographically distributed locations. We are not aware where actually our data resides and which particular server it is responding, like that. Okay, so the following or using the traditional security techniques such as firewalls or host-based antivirus softwares or intrusion detection systems, actually they are not adequate to the need of the hour. Okay, so security challenges are there in the cloud. And when we just explore about what are the security challenges that is being there, Cloud Security Alliance actually they have conducted a meeting for every year. Okay, this was actually the last meeting, recent meeting organized by Cloud Security Alliance, and they have just listed the top 12 threats that is there in cloud, and data breach is being identified as number one threat, and it is being for your view, I've just included the table which consists of top 12 threats of cloud, which is identified by the CSA. Okay, and data breach is being identified as number one threat, just for a glance. Okay, and we will be just moving towards what is crypto cloud here, and the crypto cloud actually is nothing but normally. If it is even a network-based system, client and servers has to communicate with each other. Right, same way, it is a cloud, crypto cloud is nothing but where you will have certain entities that will communicate with each other and like with the cloud service provider to access the resources. So the main entities that we will take for the discussion now is the data owner, the user, and the service provider. These are the main three entities that will be always involved in a communication in terms of cloud. So what are the challenges they are facing? All these three entities that is facing. Okay, so from the viewpoint of the owner, from the viewpoint of the consumer, or from the viewpoint of a service provider. Okay, so we are going to explore those things here, and it is broadly classified as communication level challenges, computation level challenges, and service level agreement challenges, SLA level challenges. So this is just for a glance, like what is architecture of crypto cloud is. So this is how the crypto cloud architecture will be. As I was telling you that you have three entities: authority, users and the consumers, and the service provider. And this is the flow where the communication normally will take place. Authority are the owners who will contribute the resource to the service provider, and the users are those persons who want to access the resources from the service provider. So on the basis of authentication only, authenticated users only will be just accessing it. And again, in the admin level, they are the person who are responsible for the entire administrative work of the particular files that is being deployed in the resource, that is our cloud. Okay, so this is the overview of the crypto cloud architecture, and these are the entities, and we are now going to just see about what are the challenges that is being faced by the entities of crypto cloud. So the classification of the challenges, see actually there are various classifications, but mainly when we look at the challenges that is being faced about on those particular entities as like communication level challenges, computational level challenges, and SLA level challenges. So when we just explore in depth about the communication level challenges, they will always arise whenever those entities that will communicate, they will share the resources on the cloud. Okay, and these leads to the way of network level, application level, and host level challenges are there. Computational level challenges further can be classified as virtualization and data level challenges. And coming to the service level agreements. Okay, so proper service level agreements, if it is not there, na, so again. Security issues may arise due to the SLA. So these are the three broad classifications of challenges in the cloud. So let us first explore about the communication level challenges, where this issue arises due to sharing of, as I told you, that common resources, infrastructure, Okay, so among the various virtual machines or the remote machines. So when we explore in depth, it is network level and application level and host level. These are the three broad categories. Coming to the network level, what are the security issues that is faced? Okay, in the network level, it is domain name server attack, and we are all familiar. Like domain name server attack is just nothing but like your zero day attack and catchy poisoning, everything comes under that. Okay, so we are all aware that the resolver will be the DNS server. Actually, whatever name user friendly domain names we are giving with like what is this.com or something.com, like that, no user friendly domain names when we are giving, we are providing to the browser. Actually, the resolver at the back end will resolve into the equivalent IP address. Okay, so DNS attack actually it will actually, the DNS server will look at the local cache whether that particular IP address or the data requested by the client is available. If not, it is a recursive process. It has to look for the next DNS server, and like that it proceeds. So this attack actually, this domain name server attack mainly occurs in the communication between the back and forth, the communication between the client and the server happens. No, so due to that, the hacking of or the DNS attack will occur in the during the time of communication. There is back and forth communication between client and the server. And as I told, that zero day attacks are there, catchy poisoning is there. Is it clear? So fast flip DNS it is there, and DNS amplifications, all those things comes under this domain name server attacks. Okay, and then is your prefix hijacking in BGP. Again, it can even be called as IPA hijacking or router hijacking. Okay, so here actually there is a illegitimate takeover of the groups of IP addresses. Okay, so illegitimately we are just taking over the hacking. There is control of the group of IP addresses. Okay, so which is being deployed or maintained in the BGP. So that is actually prefix hijacking in the BGP concept. An issue of reused IP addresses. We are all very aware that cloud computing actually uses a pool of IP addresses, and those IP addresses know whenever a virtual machine is being deployed on a hypervisor, an IP address will be virtual IP address will be assigned to a virtual machine. So once it is the task is over, it can there is those particular virtual machine can shut down, or once the task is over, the used IP address can be reused by the other virtual machine that is going to be deployed. So we are all aware that whatever that is browsing or the data which we are using, no, it will be stored in the DNS cache. So if it is not cleared properly before reusing the IP address that is already used by a person or a system, okay, so here due to the issue, that is reusing of the IP addresses, actually this issue arises. Okay, so sneaker attacks it is there, and again we are all aware that the intercepting of the data will be there. That is data is actually transmitted over the network, no? So interception of the data and capturing those data is sneaker attack. So this comes under the network level issue. And coming on to the application level concept, is cookie poisoning. So cookie poisoning is nothing but, we are all familiar with the cookie. It is nothing but a small piece of data created and stored in user browser that keeps a track of important information regarding the session. Okay, so what is the thing that is happening? Those things, it is be maintained in the cookie. So an act of manipulating or forging the cookie is cookie poisoning. Okay, so manipulating or forging cookie is cookie poisoning. And then again, DDoS, we are all very familiar that denial of service attack, too much of flooding of request to the server, no, it may not respond properly, it will be denying it. So denial of DDoS attack will be there, which comes under application level issue. Okay, and then hidden field manipulation occurs when a hacker tries to alter the behavior of the forms, okay, by illegitimately changing the data sent to the web server. This hidden field manipulation attack will come under this. And the dictionary attack is nothing but it is actually an assault on crypto system or authentication systems. It is a kind of brute force attack actually. And Google hacking, when we are just coming under this, see, Google hacking can also be called as Google darking. Okay, so where the data gathering through advanced search procedures will be done over there. Okay, CAPTCHA breaking, we all know that CAPTCHA is nothing but a completely automated public Turing test to tell computers and humans apart, is the expansion for CAPTCHA. And the breaking CAPTCHA is nothing but the distortions that is there done in the text or the images. Okay, so that case it is referred to as CAPTCHA breaking. And coming on to the security level in the host level, actually, so we are all familiar with the viruses, Trojan horses, worms, and then the profiling attack, password cracking is there, denial of service, and unauthorized access. So clearly, we're all familiar with this particular thing. This is host level. So all these things put together comes under communication level issues. Okay, so one has to be with take care of. We cannot just or one particular software or hardware will not provide the entire security for all the level. Okay, so you have to concentrate on each and every level according to the requirement of the application. And coming on to the computation level challenges, as we have already seen in the previous slide, it is being classified into virtualization challenges and data level challenges. And coming on to the virtualization level challenges, see, actually, the virtualization is nothing but the act of abstracting the physical resources. Okay, so according to Chris Holt in 2005, it was defined. And virtualization actually, these are the three levels or the layers of the virtualization, where we have the physical layer, virtualization layer, and the virtual layer. Okay, so virtual layer actually will is the area where the virtual machines and all will get deployed over there. Okay, normally in case of Zen hypervisor, the first virtual machine which is being created, no, it is always having the control of the administrator level, and it will be referred to as DOM 0. Domain 0, the short form is DOM 0, which will always have the capability for controlling the other domains of the or the next virtual machine that is going to be going to be deployed on the top of the virtual machine. Okay, so the first VM DOM 0 is called as the host operating system, that is the, and the other one is called as the guest operating system. Okay, so virtual machines are there, user 1, user 2, like that it is. So virtual layer level, we have to concentrate on creation of the, because the virtual machines, no, it is having their own life cycle. It is getting created, deployed, and even suspended. Migration of one VM to another VM will be there. So in the virtual layer level, we have to concentrate on all the issues, okay, that is virtual machines will face. Okay, and moving on to the virtualization layer level, there is a second layer. It is nothing but your virtualization layer concentrates on the hypervisor, or it is also called as virtual machine monitor. Okay, so hypervisor level attack is nothing but, see, whenever a particular attacker, he or she may be able to attack or gain control of the hypervisor. Okay, so those virtual machines that is deployed on the top of the hypervisor can be accessed easily. So actually attacking the hypervisor or hypervisor level layer attack, no, it is being identified as a single point of failure. So once this particular point is attacked, no, on the top, whatever virtual machines they are deployed, the data, the entire thing goes on. So we have to avoid that single point of failure attack by concentrating on the virtual level, which is the visualization layer. We have to focus on that. Then is the physical layer. See, as I told that single point of failure will be there when the hypervisor is getting attacked, okay, or it is being exploited. So once when the attacker is able to gain the control over the hypervisor, surely they'll be able to access the below layer, that is the physical resources. Okay, so the memory, network interface cards, all those things, the entire data can be hacked, or they can access those things. So we have to, one has to concentrate on the virtualization layer, where your deployment of the hypervisor is there. Okay, so these are the three layers and virtualization challenges. Okay, so the challenges faced by all the three layers, we have to concentrate on that. Then is your data level challenges. So as we are all aware that data is nothing but the heart and source of the entities. Okay, so there are various data breaches that can occur. Okay, as per the CSA, it was depicted that top one threat, okay, by the CSA is the data breaching. So when you just explore again in depth about the data level challenges, like data, it is on transmission as well as on the rest state. Okay, there are two types of data we can now explore. So it is on transmission means by default they are using some secured protocols like TSL or SSL. It is there always. It is there. Okay, so we have to concentrate more and on the data at rest. Okay, so those data that is deployed on the cloud, it is on rest. No, that data has to need to be secured compared to data in transmission. Data at rest need to be secured more. So there are various again integrity resources or data leakages will be there. When the data is at rest, no, there is a leakage of the data and isolation of the data lock-in, data provenance, data backup. There are so many types of issues that may arise.
when the data is at rest, and it paves way and it attracts the hackers also. So it is actually a viewpoint, okay, so that compared to data in transmission, data at rest need to be protected, okay. And then the last one is nothing but the service level agreements. So without proper service level agreement and pay as you go model, your pay as you go model, actually the level of the it depends upon that service level agreement only. So the service level agreements can be customer based, service based, or multi level SLAs will be there. Okay, so to provide and to use the resources, a proper SLA should be there. So that is, I can put in this way: the entire pay as you go model survives, and it is based upon the SLAs. So we need a proper SLA agreement again. It is one among the important challenges. Okay, and to conclude at the end, like as you just look at this particular security tree, which just illustrates that how normally a root fixes the tree in the soil. Okay, only when this back at the bottom, the root fixes the soil properly, no, it actually yields with so many benefits. Okay, so same way, as the root of the tree, we have all these issues, security challenges like confidentiality, encryption, integrity, backup of the data, location of the data, everything, SLA, all those things which we discussed so far comes under the security challenges, which is nothing but the root of the tree. So only when these things has to be concentrated properly, then using the protocols that is available over here, that is there, no, the trunk of the tree, secured channel for transmission. So the protocols that is by default available, okay, are the channels for transmission. So with the proper channel of transmission, your tree, no, will yield anything as a service properly. Like how in the general tree, when the root is okay, okay, with the proper transmission mode, with the trunk, everything, no, it yields fruits and leaves, no. Same way here, now everything as a service can be yielded with the proper transmission channel, and with the proper basic security requirements, like root fixes the tree in the soil. Okay, so with this, let me just conclude that security should not be an add-on. Okay, it should not be an afterthought again. So it is a mechanism that has to be from the scratch. Okay, so mechanism, it is not actually an add-on. Okay, keep that in mind whenever we are concentrating on developing any application using any of the new technologies. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.